So we are looking at how to determine the size of our nerve fields. In our activity, we're going to be using toothpicks, and we're going to be testing 7 different body parts, which I had just spoken of. Here's how we need to test the body parts. First off, whoever arm this is, that person has to have their eyes closed. If their eyes are open and they're seeing themselves getting poked by 2 things, they're going to always feel 2. However, we want them to be poked by 2 things and feel 1 point of pressure. So the person who's being poked, they need to have their eyes closed. Once that's done, if I am the person that's doing the poking, I need to start kind of wide, and I have to kind of set my toothpicks down gently and at the same time. If I set one down and then the other, you'll feel 2 pokes every time. So you want them to touch the person's skin at the exact same moment and very gently. So here's how I would maybe go about doing this. I'm going to gently set, and I'm just going to ask the person, do you feel 2 or 1? So 2 or 1? 2. All right, so I'm going to move it in a little bit. Gently pick up, move it in just a little bit. 2 or 1? 2. 2 or 1? 2. 2 or 1? 2. 2 or 1? 1. Okay, at this point, I know that I am now stimulating one nerve field. What I need to do is I need to measure the distance between this point and this point, and we're going to do that in centimeters. At this point, the person who is being measured, they could open their eyes, and they might be able to help you out with the measuring if you don't have a third person to help you with the measuring. So you can't do this. I can because I'm on a flat surface. I can set my toothpicks down, whereas you would kind of have to have them open. I can then take my ruler and I can measure in between the 2 points. Keep in mind we are using centimeters. From 9 to 10 right there is 1 centimeter. 10 to 11 is another centimeter, so that's 11 centimeters, 12, so on and so forth. Now, since the tip of my ruler is kind of bent, and this makes it a little difficult, I'm going to say that 10 is my 0. So I'm going to set that down, and it looks like the distance is, assuming that didn't move, let's pretend it didn't move there. It looks like 1 centimeter, 2, 3, 4 full centimeters, but not quite a 5th full centimeter. So it'd be like 4 point, maybe 1, 2. So this would be a 4.2 centimeter measurement. You would be recording this for however many trials your group decides. So on to my second trial. What this person needs to do is, because I was just kind of activating all their nerves, they need to kind of take their hand and they just kind of need to rub their skin to stimulate all the nerves in their arm to kind of create a clean slate, if you will. Now, one last thing for you to consider with your groups while you're doing the measurements and data collection. On some of these, like if you're doing like the back of the hand, you and your group need to decide, what do you mean by back of the hand? Like back of the hand, right? Okay, great. But when you're doing the pokes, do you do the pokes this way? Or do you do the pokes this way? Because you'll get different results depending on which direction you go. So definitely talk about that with your group. Are you taking the measurements this way or this way when you get to the body parts? And that is a conversation that really should be had for each of the 7 body parts that you and your group members will be testing.